Hello, folks. As usual, I'm going to read to you the last 7 daily inspirations, and then you guys can choose one of them, and we can go from there. Here we go. Okay. February 17th, forgiving yourself. February 18th, the opportunity in negative emotions. February 19th, feeling as if you do not belong. February 20th, peace is just a choice away. February 21st, becoming an example and expression of peace. February 22nd, dealing with tragedy. February 23rd, scarcity versus abundance. Any of those do it for you guys?
Oh, I liked one of the forgiveness ones, the second one, and the last one, the scarcity.
Okay, forgiving yourself and scarcity versus abundance.
Yeah, wait, forgiving yourself, and there was another one around forgiveness, right? The one after it, what was it?
The opportunity in negative emotions.
Mm,
And feeling as if you do not belong. Peace is just a choice away. Becoming an expression and example of peace. Dealing with tragedy and scarcity versus abundance.
become an peace is just the one after peace is just become an example of.
An expression of peace.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so you want that one instead of forgiving yourself
Um,
to start off with?
yes, to start off with, yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm forgiving myself all the time, but it's always a great reminder.
So you want the forgiving yourself or the peace?
The peace, the peace, the
Okay.
peace, the peace.
All right. February 21st, becoming an example and expression of peace. 2 paragraphs long. It's a condensed version. Here we go. Paragraph 1. Today, the sounds of peace have been Today, the sounds of the trumpet of peace will be heard and felt throughout this great land. We have been sent out as notes within this world's whirling winds to whisper into the hurting hearts of those we come across that the possibility for peace resides within us now. We are the eternal extensions and expressions, the daughters and sons of the King of Peace. Wherever we go, God resides. Being God's creation, we are all extensions of the energy of love. An expression of love is peace. And so peace is a reflection of our true nature. As representatives of peace, the possibility for peace resides within us wherever we go. The more we practice lining with our peaceful nature, the sooner we will realize there's nothing easier than being who we already truly are. Paragraph 2. Today, our primary goal is to represent peace on earth. All who are sent to us today yearn to recall and feel this message. Equally so, we have been sent to them to help us practice expressing and thus reinforcing our peaceful nature. For this, we thank everyone who comes into our presence today. Let us acknowledge the sacred nature of our interactions by helping them recall that peace is always available in every moment. Let us help remind them that peace is always just a simple choice away. Peace as an expression of love, the love that created us, is always with and within us. Peace has made a sacred covenant with us to remain available to us in each moment. All we need to do to choose it is to choose it and then extend this peace to all beings that we may fully experience it ourselves. End of paragraph 2. All right. So the idea here is to become an expression of the energy of peace. So each day we have a goal, right? So today our goal is peace, if we're reading this daily inspiration. And so, as I mentioned in a few other classes, there's a way to go into an interaction with your goal already set. And so if your goal is peace, the way that you experience more peace during your day is to make a conscious decision to align with it and be that expression. And so before every interaction, you go You set your goal. My goal is to be an example of peace to my brothers and sisters. During the interaction, you keep on reminding yourself, okay, are my thoughts, my words, my actions leading myself and my brother and sister to peace or away from peace? If they're leading you away from peace, then you correct yourself in the interaction. And then after the interaction, you just go over how your interaction went. Did it lead you closer to peace, or did it take you away from peace? And then what you want to do is correct whatever uh, thoughts, words, or actions that were leading you away from peace. You want to correct it for the next interaction. And so you make the previous interaction a way to help you become a more peaceful light in the current interaction. And so even though the ego says you failed in the previous interaction, you use the learning tools, what you learned in the previous interaction, in this interaction. It says here, okay, obviously God is our Father, right? Love. So love is who we truly are, and peace is one of those branches of love. So peace is our natural state of mind. That's where we truly belong, in the state of peace. When we're not at peace, then we're somewhere within our hearts and minds where we do not belong. And we don't have to punish ourselves for that. We just have to recognize, okay, wait a second. Today my goal is peace. I'm not at peace. So let me recognize that I'm somewhere I do not belong. And now let me change my mind to align my thoughts with peace. And what thoughts lead you to peace? Any of love's expressions lead you to peace. Compassion, kindness, charity, grace, mercy, healing, hope, all those lead you to peace. Although whatever's in opposition to that leads you away from peace. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a comment. So today, I uh I feel like I was coming from an intention of love to help. I had to help my mom today. It was a bit stressful, as you know. She's not well, and it's stressful to see her that way and to help her. But I really came in with the intention to help her and give her love, and I think I did. But I was definitely not peaceful. And I found myself, she made comments that were, I mean, they weren't out of this world unkind, but they were a little bit critical, um that took my peace away, to put it succinctly. And so I didn't go in with the intention of it was going to be peaceful. Like, I didn't think about that. But I feel like I often, if not always, show up with the intention to love and take care of her and do my best. But I was so stressed out when I after 5 hours, and I know that I know it's stressful. I mean, I know it's not meant to be easy, but it just felt over the top.
Yes. Okay. So uh, let's do the three-step process, right? Okay. So you did not set the goal of peace before the interaction, right? Okay.
Right.
So from now on, when you truly want peace, you set the goal of peace. So when you set the goal of peace, you walk hand in hand with peace into the interaction, which makes you more it gives you a greater possibility to have peace during the interaction. And so whenever, okay, first we set the goal. My goal is peace. Okay, I go into the interaction with peace. Okay, now my mom uses words that trigger me in a way that lead me away from peace. Okay, now you're in the interaction. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now you can react in two ways. One is a way that your mom says something, quote unquote, negative, and you react negatively to what she said, aka you react without peace to what she said, and so you get sucked into her dream, right? Into her dream of what the situation is. The situation is not to add that darkness to darkness. The situation is there for you to bring light into the darkness, right? That's what the situation is for. That's what you're there for, okay? But if you're not self-aware during the interaction, if you're not consciously aligned with your goal of peace, then you're going to get sucked into that little dream state where your mother is in, where she uses those unloving words, right? And
Yeah.
so when she sucks you in, you both sink deeper into the darkness, right? And there's less and less peace in the interaction and in the environment, right? Okay, that's what happened, right? But the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that you were defining the words she was using, okay? So you define them in a she used words, whatever those words were, and you find them as a trigger that takes you away from peace. That's why you got sucked in, right? So now the idea is to, okay, during the interaction, remind yourself, wait, my goal is peace. If my brother or sister uses words that try to lead me away from peace, I'm not gonna get sucked into their dream. I'm instead gonna offer them in my mind and heart gratitude, because all they're doing is helping me practice choosing peace over the illusion. Okay? So now if you're consciously going to the interaction with your goal already set of peace, then your brother, sister, mother says a word that in the past triggered you, right? But now you remind yourself, wait, I've been through that little game before. It only sucks me deeper into the darkness. Now instead, I'm going to use this moment to do the opposite of what the ego demands. My ego is demanding that I believe that what she's saying is true. Now I'm realizing that what she's saying is not true, because only the truth in her is love, and an expression of that love is peace. So only the peace in her is true. So now because I'm aligned with peace, which is aligned with the energy of love with God. Now I align with God, and I see all her words as simply helping me practice developing a greater strength in consciously choosing peace over the delusion, over the dream. And so when you start to recognize that when she says unloving words, she's just offering you an opportunity to practice choosing peace over the dream, your response to her now is gratitude and compassion and understanding instead of condemnation and anger and resentment. And so that's what we kind of do when people trigger us. Did I explain that in a way that is useful?
No, yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand. I think it's a combination of the stressor of her being sick as well, because I've done it other times, and I am typically better apt to handle it. I think that yeah, I don't know. I think I need to work not only with her but just um yeah, on the grief of everything that's going on. So that might be just another level.
Yeah, whenever you're choosing thoughts that are unpeaceful in nature or getting triggered and believing in that dream, don't punish yourself for that. Just practice recognizing when you're out of alignment with the state of peace
Okay.
and then coming back into alignment. Going from out of alignment into alignment, from out of alignment into alignment. And so whenever that happens, just recognize, okay, I'm somewhere within my heart and mind where I do not belong, and then choose peace.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I was trying to say is trying to make peace with, someone who's sick and, um, I don't want to say near death, but because we don't know, but I mean, she's not well. It's hard to make peace with that piece, that part.
Okay. Well, that's because we're trusting in the ego's plan for the universe. When you trust in your ego's plan for the universe, whatever, no matter the situation, you always lack peace. And so that person may be in physical pain or maybe even close to death,
Mm-hmm.
as we say sometimes in the Sunday class, it is irrelevant. Because
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's not a that doesn't resonate.
okay,
Um,
because okay,
it's
either we are eternal or we are not eternal. Okay, so if your ego is in control of your mind,
Mhm.
no matter what your brother's or sister situation is, no matter if it's even your mom,
Yeah.
you know that your mom and God co-created her journey perfectly for her. And you know, if you're trusting in God's plan for the world, then you know that you have co-created a perfect journey with God. And so this situation you're now going through is perfect not only for you, but also for your mom.
Mm.
It will in some way, shape, or form help you heal, grow, and awaken. And in some way, shape, or form will help her heal, grow, and awaken. And in some way, shape, or form, you will then use those tools that you're experiencing now to help others heal in regards to grief. So you're learning grief lessons in grief. And so when you're learning lessons in grief, or when you're learning any life lessons, the appropriate response, of course, not to the ego, but the appropriate response is gratitude when you're learning lessons. Okay, now, if the ego's in control, then you're going to get stuck in that grief and you're going to be sad and resentful and frustrated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's fine. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but it's not what you're there for. And because if it's not what you're there for, that's why you feel that pain. Okay, so
Okay.
you feel the pain because you bought into what the ego is telling you, how the ego is telling you the universe should be, how the ego is telling you your mom's life should be, and your mom's journey should be, and how the ego is telling you that your journey should be. Okay, the only time we lack peace is because we're believing the ego instead of God. And so when I say that grief is irrelevant, on the highest level, it is because if we're eternal, right? If we're eternal, what is there really to grieve? I mean, we see societies that party and throw a great party when somebody passes away, and we see societies where they grieve when somebody passes away. Either one is fine, you know. That's because we grew up in that situation, right? Some people really celebrate life of somebody who passed, and they're all happy for their next step on the journey. And some people really suffer, and they even keep that grief for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Okay, so whichever path you decide to take, that's fine. There's no judgment in that, not by me. I'm just offering you another way of thinking about it.
No, I get it. And that resonates more. And listen, I want to party. I don't want to grieve. Like I mean, I want to celebrate her life. Um I want to celebrate it even now in her decline. It just isn't always easy.
Yeah, again, and it's not easy because we're allowing the ego to guide us. The we, let's say that there's okay, there's only today, right? There's yesterday is already gone, and tomorrow is never going to come in some sort of way, right? Because we're always here in the now, right?
Yeah.
And so if we're always here in the now, today, we always have a choice to believe God or the ego in each moment, right? So the more moments in your day where you buy into the ego's plan or allow the ego to guide you, the more pain you're going to have. Okay. But the more you allow God to guide you, the more you appreciate each moment for what it is, the gift that it is from God to you, then the more peace you're going to have. And so there's nothing wrong with feeling that grief. It's okay. Feel it, experience it, go with it. But just know that there's another way that's available to you and to each one of us. Okay. You can start offering gratitude for the moment and say, okay, well, I have another moment with my mom. That's lovely, even though she's suffering somewhat. it's lovely that I have her here in my physical presence, that I can enjoy her physical presence, even though obviously because she's feeling bad, she's not using the most loving words, right? Sometimes it's
Mhm.
difficult for, especially people who are in pain. It's difficult for them to use loving words when they're in pain or when they're feeling whatever it is they're feeling. Okay. So don't punish her for that. Don't punish her for being less than loving when she uses words that are less than loving because she's feeling frustrated or sad or whatever it is that she's feeling. Just keep on reminding yourself, wait a second. My mom co-created her journey with God. God is perfection. Even though my mom doesn't know this journey is whatever she's going through is perfect for her. And she will realize that. If not here, then up there. And so you don't have to wait until you get up there and see your mom again, okay? Because obviously you'll see your mom again, maybe in 40 years or whatever it is that how many years you got left. Uh so
Generous. I think 40 is good.
yeah.
Maybe 50, I think. Uh-huh.
and so and so you'll see your mom again, and you'll hug and you'll feel that hug and it'll be lovely and beautiful. But she's got if she leaves and goes up to heaven, it's because she's got a job to do up there now. And God needs her there now. Okay, so God is calling her home. Remember when you were a kid and your mom called you home for supper? You
Mm-hmm.
were you were all excited for supper? Well, that's what might be going on. So when your God calls your mom home, she's going to be excited about it. Okay, and she's going to be happy to release that physical that gave her so much pain, and go up to heaven, and she'll be very, very happy up there. And when she's very, very happy up here, she's going to be able to look at you and see your life, and she wants you to be happy too. She doesn't want you to be sad or resentful or depressed or whatever. She wants you to be joyful because she's joyful, right? And so, but you don't have to wait until you meet your mom again to have peace and to be joyful and to understand how precious each and every moment is and how to practice using gratitude in each and every moment. You don't have to wait until your death to find peace now. Find peace now and live with peace and understanding and appreciation for every moment that God gave you. God gave you your mom for a pretty long time. That's pretty sweet. A lot of kids don't get that, you know. And so just be grateful to God that you had your mom for so long.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, these poor kids that they're in their less than teens and their mom passes away,
Yeah.
you know, and they never really get to experience that motherly, uh, beautiful love. And
Yeah.
so you got to experience your mom. And God willing, she'll be around. And God willing, she'll heal somehow, and she'll be around another 10 years or whatever. But but
Yeah. What? No, I was gonna say she doesn't want to be around another 10 years, but
oh, I mean, if she heals, if she heals and she feels good, then she'll
Mhm.
probably want to be around. But if she
Yeah.
doesn't, and then she wants to leave, then she'll leave.
Yeah.
And so just remember, again, grief is a choice in the end that we make. There's nothing wrong with it, and you can grieve for as long as you want. There's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just offering you that there is another way. There's another choice you can make, and it's a choice that can help your mom have a little more peace during these last years or months or whatever. So whatever's going out here, remember you're always defining your experience. So use these moments, these interactions with your mom, use them to practice remembering that you have a choice. You have free will. That you can choose peace no matter what's going on in the outer environment. That whatever words she uses, you can define. Okay, she's using unloving words. Okay, then this is her. This is you. She uses unloving words. Okay, this is you. Okay, she's using unloving words because she is feeling pain and she's hurting and frustrated. I understand that. I'm going to choose compassion instead of condemnation. Now I'm going to choose forgiveness instead of judgment. So you don't have to forgive her out loud, but you can forgive her in your heart and say, I forgive you. I'll show compassion. And by doing so, because I choose thoughts that are in alignment with love, I'm going to have peace. And so, see, no matter what happens out here, no matter how difficult and dramatic the situation becomes out here, you always stay steady. You're always at peace because you know that you have free will. You know that in every moment you can choose peace or pain. That's your choice. You can choose God or the ego. That's your choice. Ego leads you uh, to having the pain with your mom and the representation of frustration and anger and resentment, or choosing remembering God, that God has your back, that God has your mom's back, and that all will be okay. And so after all is said and done, the choice for peace is yours and yours alone, no matter what the outer environment does. Because if you think the outer environment can make you choose between peace and not peace, then you're giving your control away to the outer environment. Okay? You don't want to give your power away to the outer world. You want to use this moment to remember that no matter the drama in the outer world, I can always choose peace instead of this.
Yeah, I get that. I know I have to go in consciously because when I'm not like prepared, then things just automatic, I just react.
Yeah, your past program takes control.
Yeah, I
What's
get
going
it.
on?
Yeah.
And so don't punish yourself for that. Just recognize it and come back to peace and share peace.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Does anybody have any comments or questions in regards to Yvonne's situation?
I just found that very helpful too. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Gaynor. Yes.
Yes,
So,
I wanted to
yeah,
say something.
go ahead, Isabel. Yeah, please, Isabel.
Yes. Yeah. I find it very illustrative. It helps me also to see, when the many times I have lost my peace when interacting with someone that many times doesn't agree with me, or it's not just the disagreement, it's the way that the disagreement may come in ways that if I find it kind of like offensive. Well, it's not everybody does the same thing. Not everybody disagrees the same way. We can disagree, and it can be healthy and can be respectful and stuff. But I had an interaction recently with someone that's very passionate about, is anti-Trump, right? Completely, but very hating and so upset about what's going on, and I gave my opinion about things that it is necessary. Otherwise, I said, this country will not survive with so many immigrations. I'm an immigrant, but I came, I guess, in an organized way. And it's been so many people taking advantage of United States. And I do agree that, it needs to be an order. And some people need to leave because so it was telling me, wow, that the way I think that shouldn't be. I don't have values. I don't think on human rights. I don't value human rights. I say I value human rights, and I value the rights of this country as well. So my question is, does that make me a bad person because I agree with several things that Trump is doing? James?
No, you're not a bad person because you agree with what Trump is
Because
saying.
it's making me doubt my values in life.
No, listen, okay. What people outside of you believe, respectfully, it doesn't really matter. Because, okay, people believe A and B, right? But when they interact with you, you're defining what they're saying. Okay, so this person is anti-Trump, okay? And an anti-Trump person says something bad about Trump, okay? And you believe in some of the things that Trump is doing. Then no matter what they believe, just remind yourself, okay, wait a second. I can either judge that person, or I can remember they have free will. They can say whatever they want. They can believe whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with whatever it is they believe. Okay? And if they want to judge you and waste their time judging you, that's fine. It doesn't hurt me if somebody judges me. That's if somebody judges me, that they hold on, judgment has to flow through them first. Okay, so that judgment poisons them, right? And so they feel resentful or angry or whatever, because they're poisoning themselves by the thoughts they're thinking. Okay, so we have a voting system. Trump won. Trump gets to run the country for the next 4 years. That's how it is. Okay. Now, we might not agree. So a lot of us may not agree with what Trump is doing, but some of us might agree. And if you agree with Trump, that is perfect for you. If I disagree with Trump, that is perfect for me. If I remember that we all have free will and that God co-created our journeys with us, then whatever thoughts you're having about what's ever going on in the political system, perfect. That's my good say. Believe whatever you want to believe. There's nothing wrong with believing whatever it is you want to believe. You believe whatever you want to believe, I'll believe whatever I want to believe, and we'll all live happily ever after. Now, the situation comes when people don't like what you believe. And they think you should believe what they believe.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the situation.
Yeah.
And it makes me someone not worthy to be in friendship or in a relationship with this person because I agree on certain things that the system needs a new, come on, I mean, new way of the system needs to be changed. It's so much corruption, so many people taking advantage, of this generosity of how United States has offered, opened the doors for so many people, and that I value order, I value reform, I value things like that. So she was telling me, no, I cannot be in a relationship with someone that it's like with this narcissist, with this guy that it's an evil. Oh my God, I can't be hating people, I don't like that. I dislike certain things. I dislike situations, and I can still have a relationship myself. I feel I can still have friends, relationships, people that I love, that they think different from me, right? I can agree to disagree. But this situation has made me like, being like, oh my God, my values are so low about life. I was like, let me ask. Because, I feel myself evolving, growing spiritually. So this is it is a perfect order. Today is, I think it's things are supposed to be going, and it's gonna fall into place in days or in months in the right place. But at the beginning, we have to kind of destroy the system to construct again, right? So
Yeah.
that's why.
So when somebody judges you, you have two choices. You can judge them back, or you can forgive them. Right.
No, yes, forgive them.
Which choice do you think will lead you towards peace?
Forgiving.
Yes.
Forgiveness. Yes.
Very good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so whenever somebody judges you, right, your job in that moment is to forgive them. Just forgive them. Just let it go. Let water of a seal's back. So if they put you down, forgive them. They know not what they do. Remember somebody who said that while they were crucifying him? They know not what they do. And so when somebody judges you as bad or evil because you believe what Trump believes, just forgive them. Don't get sucked into the dream. Just like Yvonne was sucked into her mom's dream, and then Yvonne felt a lack of peace. If you judge them for judging you, if you get frustrated and resentful towards them for judging you, then you get sucked into their dream and you fall into the ditch. Okay, so whenever somebody attacks you in that form, just forgive them. Don't even defend yourself, is what I would say.
Mhm.
If that's what you believe about me, hey, fine. You can believe that about me. You can carry that within you. And let's see how that works for you. Let's see how all those judgments, carrying all those judgments around with you works for you. Let's see how that works for you. You don't say that to them, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to carry those judgments around with them, and they're going to feel angry and angry and angry. Okay? You are love. You are peace. Your job, your mission is, your purpose is peace. And so you, in each and every moment, have to make the decision that aligns you with a state of peace. So when somebody attacks you, you stop in your mind, okay, I am not going to react to what this person is saying. Why? Because my ego always reacts first and loudest. Okay? So you don't react to what they're saying. Just take a breath. Okay, my job is to be a beacon of peace in this world. How can I be a beacon of peace in this world? By forgiving my brothers and sisters' comments. And then you say in your heart, my brother and sister, I forgive you for your comments. You can believe whatever it is you want to believe. That's on you. I'll believe whatever I want to believe. That's on me. But in relation to you, I'm going to choose peace. And so if you're always choosing peace, one of the lessons in the Course in Miracles, in my defenselessness, my safety lies.
Lies. Mhm.
Right. And so if you don't think that you need to defend yourself, that's where your strength resides. Because love, this person here, okay, the truth in them is love. The illusion in them is that conflict. Okay. If you see in that person only the truth in them, no matter what they're saying, you see only the truth in them, there's nothing you have to defend yourself against. Because you know that in that person there's the truth and there's the dream. Okay. If they're talking to you through their truth, they're only saying loving words. If they're talking to you through their dream, then you just know that they're dreaming. So why would you judge them for dreaming? You don't have to judge them for dreaming, because that would only make you asleep. You see only only the truth in them as true. They're perfect love, and right now they're dreaming. That's okay. Let them sleep. They need a little more sleep. Let them sleep. But your job, your mission, your purpose in each and every interaction is to choose the thoughts and the words and the actions that align you with peace. Today we're focused on peace. Okay? So that's your job. No matter what's going on here, your job, know that you have one job. How can I align my thoughts, my words, and actions with peace? That's my one job. I don't have any other job today. No matter what they say, my response is going to be some form of peace. Some form that makes me remember that I have control over my thoughts. My thoughts shouldn't control me. If I have control over my thoughts are loving in nature. Because the truth in me is in control. If my thoughts are unloving in nature, then my past programs are in control. But I have free will. I can choose this or I can choose this. I can choose truth or the dream. I can choose love or fear, compassion, condemnation, forgiveness or judgment. And so the responsibility for my peace resides within me, by the choices that I make, not by what's happening in the world, not what by other people are thinking or saying. Let them think and say whatever they want to think and say. That's fine. Let them believe whatever they want to believe. That's fine. And so choose peace. Remind yourself, I can choose peace instead of this, and then choose peace. Does that help a little bit?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Super.
All right. Anybody else is dealing with any kind of a lack of peace this week? Roberta, how's
Oh.
yeah, go ahead. I heard
I was
somebody.
going to say,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love I love the concept that God is that peace is an aspect of God, that essence of God is peace, and that our natural state, because we're all part of this giant love energy of love, is it within us, that peace is within us. I used to think I had to achieve peace and like trying to navigate my mind to it. And it's like a subtle difference to just think that it's my natural state and to be more surrendering to it and not having to try to get there, but to just like let go of the other things to get there. So I think that's been quite helpful for me to feel and connect to that peace.
Yes, peace is your true home on earth. Any of love's expressions, that's your true home on earth. That's who you truly are. You are peace because that's a branch of love, and love is the expression of God. So that's the truth within you. Peace is your natural state. That's what you always have within you. That's why no matter the drama of the world, because peace is within you, you're always just one choice, one gentle and simple choice away from peace. By saying, I can choose peace instead of this. No matter the ego story, and the ego will paint a very dramatic, colorful story. Okay? No matter how complicated this ego story is, one thing, I can choose peace instead of this. Why is it so simple to say that? Because that peace is already inside of you. That peace was gifted to you by your creator in your creation. So when love made you, when love made love into the physical form, this love that came into the physical form had all the expressions of love already within it. And that's why we feel good when we're choosing in alignment with who we truly are. With love, with peace, compassion, kindness, generosity, forgiveness. Okay? And so that's the beauty. That you can throw 1,000 stories at you, the response is always the same. I can choose peace instead of this. That you can say, oh, this person in my family is dying. Oh, this person in my family has these political views that are in total opposition to me. Doesn't matter. I can choose peace instead of this. If they want to buy that story, they can buy the story. That's not my function is not to tell them what to believe. My function is just to be a beacon of light in the world. I'm just going to hold up the lantern of peace, and sooner or later, because peace is also inside of them, no matter how much they're dreaming right now, they want peace too. Because they know their function is also to be a beacon of peace in the world. And if they're not doing that, they're not fulfilling their function, and they're not going to feel fulfilled or joyful. Because they're not doing what they were created by God to do. If they're judging their brothers or sisters, they're out of alignment with their mission in life. And when you're out of alignment with your mission in life, you're never going to feel fulfilled. And so just be a beacon of peace. Be an example of this choice for peace. Let them believe whatever it is they want to believe. Let them tell you whatever it is they want to tell you. You align with peace. You forgive them. Like Jesus said on the cross, forgive them for they know not what they do. If they attack you with their words, in your mind, you say, forgive them for they know not what they do. If God can forgive them while they were crucifying him, you can forgive your brother for not liking Trump or liking Trump. Okay? I'm sure you can do that. And so if your family member likes Trump or does not like Trump, you can forgive them. Just remember, Christ forgave those who were crucifying him. I can probably do this too. I can probably do a little bit of a lower level of forgiveness. Okay? And so your peace is your choice. It's nobody else's choice. It's yours. Yours and yours alone. If you lack peace, you made the decision to follow the ego's guidance, and that's why you lack peace. That's okay. That's what you did. Come back to center. Okay, I made this decision. I traveled this dead end road again. I'm not feeling good here. Let me come back to peace. And so, yes. Comments or questions? Roberta, how's your peace lately?
It was beautiful last week. I actually practiced that joy you said, and it was a beautiful, peaceful until today. Then I guess ego is picking with my daughter-in-law, trying to ego's picking the story of my son being unfairly treated, but just letting it go and choosing peace and not looking as, because he's the one choosing to do it all and she's not doing it, not doing enough, and then needs help with everything. But I read something that's really good. It's words are simple twice removed. So not focusing on their words or their actions, just connecting spirit to spirit. That way I could just connect that way and just be peaceful.
Yes, and always remembering that God has your back. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, today you lost your peace because your daughter-in-law was behaving in a certain manner, right? And you lost your peace. But then guess what happened? Later on today, God gave you a lesson of peace. God brought you to a class that was focused on peace.
Yes.
And so you see, God always has your back. So he set you up so that you can experience something during your day that you can process in this class tonight. So see, whatever it is that went through on today, it was simply a lesson for you. A lesson in remembering that you can choose peace no matter what's going on in the world. And so if you see how your father, God, is taking care of you, see how he's taking care of you? You lack peace in the afternoon or in the morning, and now you're being brought into a class that's focused on peace to help you choose peace.
Yes.
See, he has your back because he has all of his children's back. He has your son's back. He has your daughter-in-law's back. He knows what your son and what your daughter-in-law need to experience in order to remember who they are not and who they truly are. And so right now, it's when your ego sees what they're going through, your ego judges the situation. And because your ego is judging the situation, you're going to have a lack of peace. But if you instead of when the ego says judge the situation or get triggered by what my daughter-in-law is doing, okay, I can do that. I can do that, right?
Yeah.
Where does that lead me? It leads me to a lack of peace. I'm not here to lack peace. I'm here to be a beacon of peace. And so how can I look at this situation, not through the ego's lens, but through God's lens? Because I view the situation through the ego's lens, and I got resentment and I got frustration about how my daughter-in-law was treating my son, and I got angry and I lost my peace. Why? Not because of what happened here, but because what happened here inside your mind. Okay, so you were defining the situation. Your ego says, no, that's not how my daughter-in-law should behave. My daughter-in-law should behave in this other way. That was the ego. Whatever it is that your daughter-in-law and your son are experiencing, that is perfect for them right now. The only reason that you lack peace is because you lack a trust in God. Okay?
Mm.
So you lack peace, not because of what your daughter-in-law did, but because you are not choosing to trust God. Okay?
Beautiful.
And so if in that situation, when that stuff is going on in between that relationship, you say to yourself, okay, how can I best help lead my daughter-in-law and my son to peace? The best way is to become a beacon of peace. How can I choose peace in this situation? I can decide to trust God more. Okay, instead of judging the situation, I now use this judgment not to go deeper into the darkness, not to add darkness to darkness, but to trigger in me the reminder that my goal today is peace. How do I get to peace? By seeing the situation and by trusting God. And saying to yourself, you see the situation and you say to yourself, okay, God, my ego doesn't like this right now, but I know that my ego never delivers to me the state of peace. So I'm going to trust that you are in control and that you have co-designed a perfect journey for my daughter-in-law and my son. And so they will figure the things out at their own pace and time. And so if I trust in God's timing, aka divine timing, I will have peace. If I trust the ego's timing, I will feel confusion and chaos and guilt and shame and doubt and fear. Okay? Again, it doesn't matter what's happening in the outer world because you're always defining what's happening out in the outer world. You can define it through the ego or through God's lens. If you have peace, you define it through God's lens. You use God's lens. If you lack peace, you define it through the ego's lens. Okay, you lack peace because you saw their situation through the ego's lens and you judge the situation, you judge your daughter-in-law, and you felt, she was mistreating your son. Okay. But for X or Y reason, that's the experience they both need and then today. And they will figure it out in their own way. They will figure it out. They will hit their heads against the wall, like Mike used to say, enough times until they decide there must be a better way. There has to be a better way. And the way you show them to that better way is by becoming a beacon of peace. How do you become a beacon of peace? By making the conscious decision to, no matter what's going on here, you place your trust in God, not the ego. Place your trust in God, become a beacon of peace. Let them see that you're at peace, and they will be attracted to that light, just like a moth is attracted to light. They will be attracted to light when the time comes. When the time comes, they'll come to you, and they'll tell you, "Hey, I'm feeling this way or this other way," and you'll help remind them, guide them to a place of peace. But the only way you can guide them to a place of peace if you're being guided by the Father of peace.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Comments or questions on Roberta's situation? So many people, so many peaceful people here. So Roberta, I shall pray for your daughter-in-law and your son, and for you to consciously align with peace. Remember, you have free will in every moment. If you lack peace, remember it's only not because of what's happening, but because you choose to view the situation through the ego's lens. Okay, I lack peace right now. Obviously, I have the ego's lens. Let me take the ego's lens off, put it down, put it aside, bring in God's lens, put in God's lens, become a beacon of peace. Let them see how at peace you are. And sooner or later, they will figure their things out. And because you are a beacon of peace, they will head towards you. If they want peace, they know where to find it. Okay? Let them know where to find peace if they want peace. By your example. You don't have to say anything, just by your example.
So true. Thank you.
Yes. Let's see. Nori, how you doing? Okay, Nori, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm choosing peace.
Okay.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
You're at peace?
Yes, I am.
Amen.
Yes, I am.
How's everything with your brother and the workplace?
Better. Better. Thank God. Much better.
Okay.
You know. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. And so the more times we support the understanding that we're here to be a beacon of peace, the more we get to practice going from an unpeaceful state to a peaceful state. Let's say Nori's brother helps her practice going from unpeaceful state to the peaceful state. You know, the more she goes from a lacking peace to remembering that she is worthy of peace, that she can choose peace instead of this, the more she does that, the more she solidifies her foundation, and the more she becomes a beacon of peace for everybody around her. And so now she's a beacon of peace for her brother. Now she's a beacon of peace for those in the workplace. Because little by little, she's reinforcing within her. Wait a second. God has my back. God is in control. Everything will be all right. Love is in control. If I trust in God, I have peace. If I trust in the ego, I lack peace. Let me choose to trust God. And let me remember I can have peace instead of this. In each moment in the situation, I can have peace instead of this. And become a stronger and stronger foundation of peace for others. And how you doing, Gaynord?
Since the Zoom, thank you. I wasn't terribly peaceful, but I am now. This is wonderful. Thank you.
What was going on that you were lacking peace? If you can tell us.
I think I was picking up. I'm an empath and a highly sensitive person. I think I was picking up the turmoil that's going on in the world, and was just not able to be peaceful.
Okay. Okay. When you're an empath, okay, and all of us are in some degree, right? Some a little bit more than others. Some feel more of the situation that's going around us more than others. But that's not for you to carry. That's not your job to carry what's going on in the world. Whenever that energy flows and you absorb it, remember you have a choice. You can give it to God. You can release it over to God. That's where it belongs. That's where the whole confusion and fear belongs, not inside of you. That belongs in God's hands. And so whenever you feel that you feel absorbing the stuff that's going around you, okay, you absorb it, fine. But that absorption is meant for you to grab it put it in your hands and give it over to God. Let it all flow to God. Let it all flow to the light. Let all the darkness flow to the light. Okay? So it's kind of like, when you're using a kitchen sponge, right?
Yeah.
So imagine the chaos of the world is the water on the kitchen counter, right? And then you're that sponge, right? You're the sponge, and you get there, you absorb the water, right?
Yeah.
And then the sponge doesn't keep the water. You squeeze the water, and it goes down the sink, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so when that energy comes and you absorb it, you're not supposed to hold it like a sponge. You're supposed to give all that stuff, all the darkness, all the fear, all the chaos, you're supposed to give it to God. So you close your eyes, you take a breath, and you invite God in, and you say, God, I now release all the fear, all the chaos, all the confusion, the anger, the resentment, the political strife, the worldly wars. I give them all to you because I know that you want me to give that to you. Why? Why does God want that from you? Because God created you to be the light of the world, right? And so if you're holding on to all that stuff, you're just blocking that light. You're blocking the light when you're supposed to offer these blocks. You're supposed to offer these blocks to source. And so sit there and, you feel that weight, and then just visualize that weight lifting off you, like being that dark weight lifting off you and going into God's light and dissolving in God's light. Just let it all go. Let all the weight be lifted off you and give it over to God. So each and every time any negative emotion you feel comes to you, okay? Negative emotion entered me, or I felt a negative emotion. Okay, and now I'm not here. That's only becomes a block to my light. I'm not here to be blocked by delusions. I'm here to be a light in the world. So let me offer this block over to God. God wants this block because God needs me to be the light in the world. So God is glad when I offer him my blocks, my misperceptions, my fears, my doubts, my shame, my guilt. God wants all that so that I can become a light in the world. And so whenever that happens, don't hold on to it. That's a step that the mistake that empath always makes. They walk around town, they absorb all that CRAP, and then they keep it. It doesn't belong to you.
Right.
It belongs to God. Give it over to God. Whenever you're feeling down or heavy, just sit down for a few minutes. Breathe. Give the darkness over to the light, and then have the light fill you with only the loving light, his loving light. And so you let go of all your blocks, all those delusions throughout the day, the dark blocks, feel them lifting off your shoulders, dissolving in his light, and then feel his light come into you and refilling you with his light. And you do that over and over again. Don't keep it. Give it to God. Give it to God.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I didn't do was do that straight away. I kept just trying to push it all away and ignore it.
Right.
But I hear, as you were talking, I was thinking, if only I had done that straight away. And then as I hear you talking, I realize I can repeat it, just keep repeating it. And exactly what you said. So thank you, very, very helpful. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, remember, you're here to be the light of the world. And so the way to do that is by offering whatever those blocks are, whatever you absorb, just give it over to God. That's what God
Yes.
wants, so you can be the light of the world. And so,
Thank you.
yes. And so now, whenever that happens again, do that. Just give it over to God. It's not yours to carry. It's not mine to carry. It's not mine to carry. That's God's to carry. It can just get the soul from God's light. My only function, my only purpose is to be a light in the world. That's my purpose. In each and every interaction, how can I be a loving expression in each and every interaction? That's my function. That's my purpose. That's my mission. Very simple. In each and every interaction, in each and every situation, in each and every day, what expression of love can I be now? What expression of love is the moment, the situation, those in it seem to be requesting or need? And let me be that. And you can do that by offering everything else to God. So yes,
Yes.
God is there for you. Just waiting. All right. Any final comments or questions before we close tonight?
I just want to let everyone know for the next 3 Mondays, the start time will be at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Yes. The start
Okay.
time, the start time, March 3rd, March 10th, and March 17th will be 8 p.m., not 7 p.m.
Thank you for letting us know.
Okay.
Is everybody
you.
subscribed to the mailing list to get the newsletters?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go to chosen to remember /subscribe, then you could sign up for the particular mailings, like whether it's daily or weekly. And you can also subscribe to get notified about the Zooms, the Wednesdays and the Mondays. And then you'll definitely be getting when we have advance notice, you'll get the notification that the time is different through those emails as well.
Where is it that you go? Chosen to remember?
That's James's website, chosentoremember.com/subscribe. SUBSCRIBE.
Okay.
I can put the link in, but by the time this class ends, let's see.
Just say it one more time. Chosentoremember.com /
Then the word subscribe.
Okay, subscribe. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stick it in, but I know we're about to end the call, but I'll stick it in the chat if anybody wants to copy it.
Thank you.
All right, folks.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Yvonne, we'll pray for your mom.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
thank you,
Take
Gaynor.
care.
Thank you, Nori. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Jen.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You too. Night night.
Bye.